It's really a pleasure to be here. I'm so blessed to be able to, be surrounded by great fans like Virginia fans. Anytime I meet somebody that's a Virginia fan, I'm reminded of home, and for me, Central Virginia, which will always be home for me. It's a very special place, and we've got some great young players, and we've got a great future. What's not to love about the University of Virginia? So that's, I think it speaks for itself, and the tradition will continue, and it will grow and improve, and I'm just so excited to be a part of it. Just a small piece, but a part of it. Thank you.
Chris, do you have a memorable game as a Cavalier?
Yeah, I certainly do. Actually, I'm just going to take this microphone off. It feels better. My favorite game is probably beating Maryland at Maryland, because I can't stand Maryland. They're about as equal to me as Tech. They're on the same level. So, and that was a special night because winning on the road is hard, and I think that was a really special team we had. I mean, I talked to a few of y'all about it, but that was the best year of my life easily, and can't beat that. We had a great group of guys, and we really did have a lot of fight. And Coach L remembers it was some patchwork victories that we worked out. I mean, we beat some teams that we probably shouldn't have beat, and we went to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and I bet half of you guys probably didn't know who Middle Tennessee State was before we went there. We went on a field goal. So it was a wild year all the way through. It was like we couldn't do things the easy way. We went up to Maryland, and it looked like we were just going to lay an egg. And Michael Simpson, out of nowhere, had a huge game, and we tightened up, and we won in the most dramatic fashion. And it was the best time ever to see. Well, Mike Brown, who played corner, who was supposed to be rehabbing his ACL, sprinting full speed onto the field, throwing his crutches in the air. These visuals, Maryland fans, Bird Stadium is dead silent.
Hey Chris, what's the biggest difference in playing in UVA versus playing in the NFL?
Well, I think, it's speed, size. I mean, those things are kind of, everybody talks about them, but I think the commitment level is unbelievable. We're all very committed as student athletes, but we're student athletes. These people are athletes for a living, and you step right in, and I'm competing with guys who have been in the league for a decade. I was playing Little League baseball when they, so like it was wild, and actually, if you just have open ears, you learn a lot from them, and I've just been fortunate enough to play with some great vets, and just learn how to be committed. Every year you're learning smart ways to work. Your body does get older. I'm 27 years old now, and some days I'm like, wow, is this what being old feels like? So you have to learn how to take care of your body. But I'm 27, but in dog years I'm probably like 50. No offense to anybody older than me, might have to be but you gotta take care of your body, you gotta study film. You can't just get by on just hard work anymore. It's smart hard work, and I think that's the biggest difference.
You and your dad ever talk about how the game has changed since his day and how it is now?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, it's been a long time since he played, but I'm just trying to think how many years. Over about 20 years, and the game was fast when he played, but I think it's faster now, and he'll be the first to tell you that. And people are bigger, stronger. I think there's a lot to learn from guys from that generation, that era, and it's certainly not lost on us. Being an NFL player, you have to respect the past and the guys that paved the way for you. I think we're very lucky to do what we do for a living, and we're just, the game's grown so much. I mean, the NFL it's an unbelievable, the fan base is unbelievable. It blows you away. I don't think the game was always like this. And I think that's the biggest thing my dad talks about, is just how much the league's grown. I mean, it's global now. I mean, playing games in London, things like that. So it's really impressive.
What was it like growing up playing sports when your dad was an all-pro athlete?
Oh man, that's tough. I mean, For a while I thought, well, I'll just play baseball and avoid the whole thing altogether. And that didn't work out because I couldn't hit a curveball, and it just kind of so happened that football was, it just kind of naturally happened. My parents didn't want me to play football. I didn't plan on playing football. I didn't plan on playing in the NFL when I got to Virginia. Not until my third year, when people were like, you know, you're capable of doing this. And my dad was always supportive through the whole thing. It's a tough legacy to live up to. I'll never be the player he was, but I can certainly try, and hopefully I'll make my own name in doing it. And I'm really proud of my dad, but you know, it's not the easiest thing, but I'm proud of him.
It's a pleasure to coach a young man like Chris Long or like Butch Jefferson. You know, Butch Jefferson was on offense and he was on defense, and Butch is one of our academic advisors. And Butch, are you still here? He's got to be the biggest academic advisor in the country. So he's got so he tells you got study hall, you got study hall. So, listen, Butch, I'm telling you. And then Chris is here. I had the great fortune to coach Chris. And one of the things, probably the highlight of my coaching career, was the year that he was going to get drafted, that he asked me, Coach Groh, and his high school coach to come to New York and sit in the green room back there. And I thought that was just awesome. I mean, I was just a position coach. And for him to think enough of me to say, Coach, I want you to be there on that day. When I talk to him on the phone and we end the conversation, it's, hey man, I love you. Coach, I love you. To me, that's more than a first round draft pick, this and this and that. It's about the relationships and the influence that a coach can have on a young man that has gone on to do tremendous things. So he knows that I love him and I appreciate it very much. You too, Butch. I remember we were playing Georgia Tech, and it was a home game. It was a close game. The offense had the ball. And I'm up there and I'm watching the game, and you know, the Who Vision that shows up there, and so I'm watching the game, and Chris comes up, it's like, leave me alone, Chris. Coach. I'm like, what? You see that girl up on the Jumbotron? I'm dating her. We got a ball game on the line. I took my eyes off the game. Oh, really? And the last thing I'll say before he heads out, he's fortunate enough to have, he's getting ready to join the Ring Finger Club. And I remember, maybe it was about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, I was like, hey, Chris, man, let's go have lunch or something like that, because he was in town. He's like, Coach, I can't. Like, what do you mean I can't? He said, I gotta go camping. I gotta go camping? Yeah, I gotta go camping. So, welcome to the club here. No, but, you know, it's really been, just really great to see guys like Butch and Chris, and you know, people that have come along over the years. Chris Canty, we were just talking about a couple of days ago. We were in New York, and Chris Canty was there, and Clint Simpson was there, and it's great to see those guys being successful men, fathers, teammates, and all that. And that starts with the type of experience that they've had at Virginia. The experience that a Virginia education, degree, the networking, and the opportunities that have been extended, I've seen it firsthand as a coach, as a brother, and as a father. And it's truly awesome. A Virginia degree, as President Sullivan said, truly has national and global significance about it. It's one of those things that when we get young men to come on grounds, that's it. That's it. They fall in love with the place. So I'm excited about what's happening with the program and the growth or the movement. Now, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's a good thing that we played a lot of young players. We were 7th in the country. We're playing the most freshmen on a particular team. And we played 12 true freshmen, and we played 10 redshirt freshmen. And so the good thing is they're fearless and they don't know what they don't know. But the bad thing is they're fearless and they don't know. So our team now, after a couple of years, is now into that freshman, sophomore stage where you're starting to turn over the team. You're starting to turn over, moving out of the 3-4 system into the 4-3 system. Going from whatever offensive systems that were there before into Coach Laser and the style and attack that we have now. So, and we're trying to adapt the recruiting to that. So it's been really interesting to watch the transformation of some of these young players that will become household names, hopefully like a Chris Long, or Wes Jefferson, or Chris Canty, or Tom Santee. I know that one of the things that we always talk about is guys handling themselves in the classroom, in the community, and the on-the-field part will follow. Probably the most satisfying, or probably the biggest thing that I look at is in the last 4 semesters that the football team has had the highest GPA the football's had since the mid-1990s. And I'm proud of that. Because you can also have a year that we had that can reflect that Virginia can truly be the best of both world opportunities. And we can truly attract those student athletes that want and value a great degree, that want and value an opportunity to play and compete for championships. Guys like Anthony Poindexter, who, by the way, I see is the mayor of Lynchburg as I'm driving in. He's doing an outstanding job out there representing this university. John Moore, outstanding job. Marcus Hagans, as you remember, as a quarterback, he's a graduate assistant. Marcus is coaching our wide receivers now. To go back to the influence and power that influence that people have on each other. Marcus and his wife just had their first child. Marcus named his son Christopher Dex Hagans. Now, I don't know if his wife had anything to do with the name of his son. Christopher after Chris Long, Dex after Anthony Poindexter. So the influence that people have on each other is tremendous, and you never can take that for granted. We're big into the Boys and Girls Club. We're big into the community service, because that's what they should do. When a young man learns how to be a model and lift someone else up, and he knows he has that type of effect on a young man, then he doesn't want to let that young man down. And then he'll want to do it again and again and again. And so our record in the community is big, is favorable, is successful. And on the field will happen also. It will happen because of the type of young men that are there. I appreciate all your support. I appreciate a lot of you came to Atlanta, and that was fantastic. You just don't understand the lasting impact that you had on the guys. And we opened at the garage or whatever that was, and you guys were in there yelling and screaming. We just walked through a maze of orange and blue, of Cavalier fans screaming. I mean, that was awesome. Those are the Virginia football days that we want to get back to and be consistent with that. But I appreciate your support. I appreciate what you do, what you stand for. I'm proud of this university. I'm proud to represent it with class and integrity. You can win that way. And I think things are being done in the right fashion.